Okay, everybody, welcome back. So in this video, part 3 of my Led Zeppelin collection, we're going to take a look at books, music magazines, or music newspapers, I should say, and tour programs. So let's jump right into it because there's quite a bit to get through. So this is the first book that I have here. This little, again, most of this stuff is easily found online. It's not super rare. If it is, I'll point it out to you. But here's the first book, Led Zeppelin by Modern Icons is the publishing company. Again, nothing super special, just a cool little book, small little book with some cool pictures. The story of Led Zeppelin that you've been told 1,000 times, but cool little book to have. Okay. The second book I have here, this is another one of these price guides. This one's for vinyl. I don't know where I got this. It's by Robert Goodwin. A lot of this is all old vinyl. What the label, some of the item numbers and what they're worth. Someone gave this to me, I think, just a cool little kind of thing to have. Just another price guide. This book here is, let's see, this one is Led Zeppelin from Early Days to Page and Plant. Richie York's definitive biography. Again, cool book. Easily had if you wanted to find it somewhere. This is a classic, the hardcover version of Hammer of the Gods. Again, every Zeppelin collector should have this book in their collection by Stephen Davis. The next book, this is a cool book by Richard Cole, their road manager for many, many years. Stairway to Heaven, Uncensored. Again, this is one of those books that, the band, Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, John Paul Jones, say a lot of the stories in this is untrue because there's a lot of salacious stories in here, to be honest. My guess is a lot of it probably is true. But a cool read nevertheless. Great artwork, great cover, Stairway to Heaven. This is one of the first picture kind of books I've ever got. This is called Heaven and Hell. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. Okay, Heaven and Hell. Again, this is by Charles R. Cross. Great pictures in here. I've had this one for quite some time. Really cool photos and the whole Led Zeppelin story, but love these really high res, really nice photos for the time. Again, all the 70s stuff, really cool. Good read. Again, you can find this still. This is not a hard book to find, but it's been around a while. That's Heaven and Hell. This is my latest book here. This is the Led Zeppelin. This is the one that has been officially sanctioned, if you will, by Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, John Paul Jones. It's for the 50th anniversary. Great photo book. This is a must, and you can get this on Amazon for probably around 50 bucks. This is a fantastic book with some fantastic photos in it. Mostly black and white. I think it's all black and white. But just some really cool photos in it with little excerpts of where the photos were taken. Again, I guess there is some color in here. Very, very cool book. Again, you can get this on Amazon for 50, 60 bucks. This is brand new. One of the only books that I'm aware of that's really kind of officially sold by, and sponsored by Led Zeppelin and LedZeppelin.com. Although I'm sure there's others, but the only one that I have. So that's Led Zeppelin. Okay, let's see what's next. This is another great book. This is Led Zeppelin, Photographer. The Photographer's Led Zeppelin book by Ross Haflin. I guess this is all the pictures that he took of Zeppelin in the 70s. Comes in a nice, kind of a nice fabric feeling slipcase. Again, excellent pictures. Here's a nice one of Jimmy Page, but very, very cool photos in this book. Not photos necessarily that you didn't see in other books, but just a quality, real nice, heavy weighted pages. Very, very cool. Some stuff that you probably haven't seen before. Other stuff I'm sure has been around in other books. But just a great package of great Zeppelin photos. Again, from the road, from the 70s. And I love that it comes in this nice little protective hard shell slipcover. Again, really cool. This is a book that's becoming more and more, not difficult to find, but becoming more and more expensive to get your hold of. This is Led Zeppelin Live Dreams, and this has like a plastic, thing on the top here, all Led Zeppelins, all See if I can, how far I can get the lens up. That's about it. But this is one of the, this is a book that's been around a while, and I think I paid 20 bucks for this book when it first came out, and I know it sells for quite a bit more today. So this is really cool, and it comes with, you know, the outtakes, little pamphlet with some outtake pictures that didn't make the book, with some ticket stubs and all those kinds of things. The Live Dreams collection. Again, very cool, very nice quality, great pictures. A great story, a lot of text in here you can read about the different tours and such, with some pages that'll open up. Again, very, very cool. You know, fold out pages to show, you know, a larger photo. Again, that's Live Dreams. And again, this is another one that comes in one of these nice protective, hard, you know, kind of semi-hard fabric covering for the book, which is really cool to protect the book itself. Just kind of slips in there. This is another really great book. This is the Jimmy Page book by Jimmy Page, of Jimmy Page's life. Again, all embossed lettering. Very, very cool book. All of Jimmy Page from the time he was a child all the way through his career, early days with the Yardbirds. Again, wonderful pictures in here. Great story about the pictures. A lot of unreleased photos that out of Jimmy Page's personal collection. You know, again, all through the early days of the Yardbirds, all the way up through the, obviously through Led Zeppelin, in his career with Zeppelin, all the way through stuff in the 80s, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, stuff with the Page and Plant tour. Stuff he did with Sean Puffy Combs. kind of strange, right? All the way up through the end of his, you know, career, or current part of his career. Some really good candid photos. Some really cool stuff here. This is a really nice book. All the way through the reunion at the O2. Some good photos there as well. Really, really cool. Again, in a nice big portrait picture on the back. And this is about the coolest picture of Jimmy Page I think I've ever seen. Very, very cool. So those are kind of the hard, well, I got one more. Those are the picture books. And this is more of a collection. This is something that's relatively new to me. The Led Zeppelin Ultimate Collection by Chris Welch. This is a beautiful collection. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get everything in the camera frame here, but this kind of flips open. It's a hard, this has a book, posters, has 30 rare documents and five posters and a DVD in it. If you flip this open, I'll show you the inside cover if I can kind of move this down. Here's the flip up cover, and there's a DVD in here, which of some Page and Plant stuff and some lost footage that I have to check out. I haven't even watched it yet. But this is just a beautiful package. And then when you open up here, you have another beautiful book. Kind of pulls out here by this thing. Oops. Oh, there we go. In this book here, it feels like it's got almost like a padded covering. And underneath the book, they have a bunch of rare, you know, reprints of posters, backstage passes, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of collectible print items that were available in the 70s, all redone to its original form, which is really, really cool. And if I close this, I can show you the book. Again, that's the Ultimate Led Zeppelin Ultimate Collection. That you can buy. You can buy this on Amazon for like less than $100. There's a cool photo of the book. And what's really cool is inside of the book, like in the inside pocket, they have some posters. This is the original Earl's Court poster. So I'm not going to open up the posters because I won't be able to get them underneath the lens of the camera. Won't be able to zoom out far enough. But trust me when I tell you, it's very cool memorabilia. And this is a very cool book. Again, a lot of stories about the songs, about the bands, talking about in the beginning. And then halfway through the book, about at the end of every chapter, they have what's attached to the book so you don't lose them, which I really like, are these little secret pockets. And in those pockets, I don't want to tear this, hopefully, there's all kinds of memorabilia. So here's one example of a bunch of, you know, posters and stuff that they used to have, you know, the originals, you know, kind of reprinted. Very, very cool. Very cool stuff. A lot of, here's this one opens up to the Yardbirds. A Yardbirds poster for a live show. Those are very nice. So if you like those kinds of things and you want to see all the kind of old posters, old ticket stubs, backstage passes, again, this is like a pocket inside of one of the chapters. And if you go to the end of the next chapter, There's another one here. Here's some with some tickets, some reprints of old tickets, which is pretty cool. Again, very, very nice. Very nice. This is a great package. The one thing I love about the Zeppelin stuff is a lot of the packaging is just beautiful. Here's some with some Backstage Passes. Here's The Song Remains the Same, the movie ticket, a reprint of the original movie ticket. And then inside of the pocket, there's more postcards and photos and just really cool memorabilia. So again, I'm not going to show you all of this because we got a lot to get to, but this is a very, very cool package. And again, if you're a Led Zeppelin collector, or even if you're not and you wanted to start collecting some Zeppelin stuff, this is, again, a very cool package. Again, for $60 US on Amazon, you get a very, very cool package with a lot of cool memorabilia and a really nice book, done very, very well. And everything fits in there nice and snug. A nice DVD, which I'm going to check out at one point. And again, that's the Led Zeppelin Ultimate Collection. Very, very cool, I think. Okay, now let's look at some, oh, I got another book here. This is a collector's guide for CD bootlegs. In the last few videos, we talked about collector's guide for tapes in video 1. This is for CDs. When they started doing bootlegs on CDs, they have an additional guide, which I have the guide, but I didn't collect a lot of CD bootlegs. But this is a cool book. Interesting. Let's take a look at some comic books. So we also have some comic books. Again, not highly collectible, but just cool to have. Here's one, Led Zeppelin. Pretty nice. Here's Led Zeppelin, the Led Zeppelin Experience. There was one for every member. Here's the one with Jimmy Page, Robert Plant. Here's the Personality Comics Presents Led Zeppelin, John Paul Jones. Jimmy Page, so I have the full set with all 4 of them. Robert Plant. And then last, John, but certainly not least, John Bonham. So those are the comic books. Again, not terribly, expensive or collectible, but just cool to have. And again, everything's in near mint, if not completely mint condition. For tour programs, got some cool tour programs we could show you. The first one being an original. This is inexpensive and not easy to find, especially in this condition. The original from '75, the actual tour program from Earl's Court. Now this is not a reprint, although you can get reprints. These are the originals. And again, it's for something this age, it's in fantastic condition. No ripped pages, little wrinkled, little creased here and there, but that's for something that is what 30 years old, 40 years old. This is in exceptional condition. You can get these, you can find these on eBay. They're difficult to find. You can get them. They're not hard to find, but in good condition, they're very difficult to find. So that is Earl's Court tour program, which I really ought to put in a nice protective sleeve. The next one I have, which isn't a protective sleeve, this is from Knebworth 1979. Again, this is an original, almost in, I would say, in very good to excellent condition. No rips, couple of wear marks down at the bottom. At the top, at the one corner is a little chafed. But this is a fantastic program as well. Again, expensive if you can find it in this condition. Next one, which is, this was 50, 60 bucks when I bought this. This is the Jimmy Page and Black Crowes tour, which was a limited run tour. They didn't play for very long because Jimmy Page had some back problems and had to cancel the tour. But this is very cool. Very cool program. Yeah, we talked about the box set, the album box set, not too long in the last video. Some really cool pictures in here. Nice tour program. Again, absolutely perfect condition. This one is from the Walking Into Everywhere or the Walking Into Clarksdale tour from 1998. Can't zoom out any further than this. Hopefully this is all in frame. Jimmy Page, Robert Plant. I did see this show in New Jersey. It was fantastic. What a good show. This is when they went back to their 4-piece lineup and didn't have the orchestra and whatnot. Very cool tour program. Again, perfect condition. This one is Robert Plant's Manic Nirvana program. Very cool, a lot of cool colored pictures in here. Very nice, in really great condition. Was a good tour. We also have the 1995 tour program from Page and Plant. And I saw this show in Boston, I believe. This was a really great tour. Bought this at the venue. Again, mint condition. Here is a reprint of the 1977 tour, An Evening with Led Zeppelin. This is not an original. This is a reprint you can get anywhere. I've never seen an original available. I'm sure there's probably some out there. They're probably real expensive. This is just a reprint. Again, nothing fancy, but cool to have if you're a collector. You know, not the greatest quality pictures in these things, but pretty cool. Then we have two more. We have the Robert Plant, The Principle of Moments tour, which is the first tour after after the Honey Drippers, I should say. Again, this one's in pretty good condition. It's not ripped anywhere. It's stained a little bit. The corners are in pretty good shape. I did not see this tour. I bought this from a collector. Some cool pictures of Robert, you know, in the early 80s, right? Looks very similar to what he was in Led Zeppelin. Cut his hair a little. Really cool. Good album, too. The first Pictures at 11 album was great. And then we have the Jimmy Page Outrider tour program. Very nice tour program. Again, almost in mint condition. I didn't see this tour myself. I bought this from a collector. Here's the picture of the bands. There's Jason, very young Jason Bonham. This is a great band, though. Really cool. Jimmy Page looking awful young there. So those are my tour programs. Let's look at some music newspapers that are collectible. Again, they may not fit completely in the frame, but I'm going to try to do the best I can. Here is Phonographic magazine with Robert Plant on the cover. This is from 1975, March 1975. Again, I bought this at a record show. This was 60 cents when it came out. I don't know what I paid for it, but I'd be willing to bet you I paid at least $25 or $30 for that. Here is Discoveries magazine from 1996. This is like a gold mine magazine. This has a lot of collectible stuff in here. I mentioned in the beginning, in volume 1, when you were collecting, you were trying to meet people that had collectibles, and there's a big classified section in this, like Gold Mine magazine. But this is really cool, and again, it's almost in perfect condition. Here is a Gold Mine magazine with Led Zeppelin on the cover. This is from 1990. Again, really cool. Here is East Coast Rocker, EC Rocker magazine with Jimmy Page on the cover. This is from what year? This has got to be from like 84, 85. Okay. Here's a really nice collectible. This is a Rolling Stone from 1975. This one you can still get, but it's becoming harder and harder to find in good condition. This is in very good condition. I mean, it's almost perfect. And I paid 20 bucks for it probably 20 years ago. And then we have, let's see, New Musical Express magazine with Jimmy Page on the cover. This is from 1979. I don't know what I paid for this, I don't remember, but I bought it at a record convention. Okay, and those are my music newspapers. Now we have a small stack of like musical books and stuff. Again, nothing highly collectible, stuff you can find anywhere, but just to show you quickly, here's some sheet music for Stairway to Heaven, because why not, right? Gotta have music for Stairway to Heaven somewhere in your collection. Here's a very common book, inexpensive book to find, Zeppelin in Their Own Words. Here's another one that you can find just about anywhere, The Power and the Glory. Here's some guitar tablature books and sheet music books. Here's Led Zeppelin Complete. Here's another one, easy to find, Led Zeppelin Blues Classics, guitar tab books. When I was learning guitars, I mentioned in the first video, I only was interested at that time in playing Led Zeppelin, and these were the books that I used. Here's the Led Zeppelin 1 Classic guitar tab book. Here is Led Zeppelin 2, not in really good condition. I bought this used, it's kind of creased, but I was using this when I was learning guitar. This one is a fairly rare one, but if you can find it's not very expensive. More Led Zeppelin Guitar Superstar series, and this is, the pages are kind of falling out of this, so I'm not going to open it up, but that's a kind of a cool piece to have. Let's see, we also have another guitarist book, Jimmy Page. Again, easy to find, not valuable in that sense. Here is the Led Zeppelin concert file. This is just kind of a document or a book on all the different Led Zeppelin concerts and some footnotes about it. Again, a lot of stuff that's been rehashed over different books over the years. But someone gave this to me as a gift, and I just like the picture on the front. That's pretty cool. We have the Physical Graffiti Guitar Tab Book. We also have the book, again, this is an easy book to find, Zeppelin, Good Times, Bad Times by Eddie McSquare. And then Led Zeppelin, a visual documentary by Paul Kindall, or Kindell. Again, easy book to find, you can get it anywhere. Here is a soft cover of the book Portraits. Again, I paid $6 for this. Again, pretty cool book, black and white photos. Some pictures, I wouldn't say rare pictures, I've probably seen most of these pictures and most of the stuff, but cool to have. And then lastly, I want to show you something that there's some rare items in here. This is a homemade scrapbook that I built somewhere in the 90s, and I have a couple of rarities in here I want to show you. It's something that you can't get necessarily. The first thing I want to show you is, let me take out the books here for a second. Again, just, you know, as I was putting collectibles together, here is a couple of photos of the band. Here is a monthly or bi-monthly publication of a music fanzine called No Quarter. This was around in the early 90s. This no longer exists. There was only a certain amount of, I don't know how many issues there were. I have them all, but these are all mint condition. If you try to find these on eBay, you can get them. But to buy them and get a full set of them, they get pretty expensive. Collector's magazines by fanzines. So I have all the No Quarter stuff here. There wasn't many of them, but I have them. I believe I have every one of them. You know, they're like 10, 12 pages, full color, nice glossy paper stock. So I have all the No Quarters. This was all from about 95 to about 98, I believe was the time frame that a lot of these came out. Then I also have Electric Magic. Again, I think I have most of them. This was in the early 90s. Another fanzine. I have quite a few of those, and I think I have everything that exists. Then I also have another one called Zoso. This was another cool one in the early 90s, and again, I have all of the ones that are known to Zoso. I have all of these as well. Again, you can find them, but they're hard to find in complete sets. Here is an unused concert ticket from Chicago 1980, because John Bonham died. This concert was never put on. Here's a certificate of authenticity. Here's an unused ticket from that concert that would have been November 12th, 1980. Never happened. Also have, let's see, just a couple other things here. Some just, press photos, nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary, things that you've seen all over the place. Some concert tickets of things I went to, Robert Plant concert tickets, Jimmy Page concert tickets, Page and Plant concert tickets. Some postcards, again, nothing special, nothing valuable here, just cool for myself to have. A bunch of Zeppelin postcards. All the pages are starting to yellow. These are old photo albums, but pretty neat to have. Let's see, what else is in here? Again, mostly just postcards. Some article cut out of a magazine, couple of colored pictures of Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, solo pictures. And then I also have a music magazine with Zeppelin on the cover, Page and Plant magazine. Oh, another comic. I didn't realize there was another comic book in here. The Led Zeppelin comic book, I should put that with the rest of them. Here is another here's a newspaper, Sounds newspaper, November 6, 1971. Zeppelin tour to tour Britain was the headline, which is kind of cool. And then lastly, in this particular scrapbook, I also have the fanzine Zeppelin Tight But Loose. Again, another one of these music fanzines that are no longer around, but I have all of them as far as, I think I have 4 or 5. I don't know if I have all of them. Proximity was another fanzine, like a newspaper, fan-collected newspaper. I have a bunch of those. I don't know if I have all of them, but I think I have most of them. The Only One is another one. Out of the UK, I believe. Not as high quality as some of the other ones, but again, I think I have all of the ones that have ever been printed. And again, none of these fanzines are around anymore. You can't get them. You can only find what was out there. And I've looked to see if there was more stuff out there, and I can't find anything that I don't already have. So that is all of the hardcover books and my scrapbook and the music newspapers and some of the music fanzines. The last video we'll do is we'll actually take a look at the magazines, because I have lots of magazines. That deserves its own video. So thanks once again for watching. I think this is part 3 now of my Led Zeppelin collection. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you're a collector of Led Zeppelin or any other band, and you know, do you have any information on some of this stuff? And if you want to chat about this stuff, I'm always up for talking about Led Zeppelin and talking about collecting Led Zeppelin. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.